Hi friends, it's Miss Delena with Greenhouse Music. Before we begin today's chapter, don't forget to grab your 25 Days of Christmas Journey printout so your kids can follow along with the clues right alongside Holly. There's going to be even more clues and challenges and fun little extra tidbits for you. You can download it at green.myflowdesk.com/Holly's Heart, HOLLYS Heart. This will be in the show notes as well. And remember, this Christmas adventure unfolds one day at a time, so be sure to listen in order to keep up with the magic. All right, let's step into the story. By the time they were driving home from the grocery store, the sky had turned a restless gray. Snow tapped against the windshield in soft, uneven bursts, and the wind pushed at the car as if it had something to say. Not a storm exactly, just enough weather to remind everyone that winter was very much awake. It had been a long day, but not a busy one. The good kind of long. Errands, lunch, small conversations. Levi had waved at strangers, Mama had hummed while choosing apples, and Holly had helped count cans and remembered to put the bread on top of the bags so it would not get squished. Normal things. Somewhere between the cereal aisle and the freezer section, Holly had stopped thinking about Papa's letter altogether. She had read it early that morning. That part mattered to her. It'd become a small adjustment to her routine, one that she loved. Sitting on her bed with her detective hat tilted just right, she had unfolded the green and white envelope this morning and taken her time, letting the day wait while she listened first. At first, she had done what she often did when Papa left her a clue. She had looked for signs. She had scanned the morning for anything unusual, a conversation that felt important, a moment that seemed like it might mean something. She had watched closely, listening harder than usual, wondering when the challenge would show itself. But the day had stayed quiet. And then, without noticing when, it simply carried her along. Now, as the car hummed steadily down the road and the grocery bags rustled softly in the back, Holly leaned her head against the window and let her thoughts drift back to the letter that she had read hours ago, with her cheek feeling the nice coldness of the glass.
Hi, Holly girl. You know, some days move fast, and some days ask us to wait. Waiting can feel like nothing is happening, but that is rarely true. Just because you cannot see progress does not mean it has stopped. Some of the most important work happens quietly, beneath the surface, long before anything changes on the outside. Today may test your patience more than your courage. Any day might. You may feel that urge to hurry things along, to fix, or to solve, or to move ahead before time is right. When that does happen, because it will, remember this: hope does not disappear when it waits. Faith does not fail because it is patient. Trust grows strongest in the moments when we choose calm before we have answers. I wonder how the Mother Mary felt when she was waiting for her baby to come, Jesus, the Messiah. Imagine the level of patience that she would need. That's something I want you to think about. Well, here's your challenge for today. If life grows slow or plans delay, do not rush the hour away. Stand in trust. Let worry rest. Waiting well brings out patience best.
Holly closed her eyes for a moment and let the memory of the words that Papa said settle back into place. She had not rushed through them that morning. Papa's letters did not like to be rushed. She remembered how she had read slowly, pausing in the quiet between sentences, as if Papa might speak again if she waited just long enough. She could almost hear his voice now, steady and warm, like he was sitting right beside her instead of far away. Holly thought about the words as she watched the snow streak sideways across the glass. Waiting well. She turned the words over in her mind the way she always did when Papa left her something to think about. She had not done anything special today, and it was already the evening. At least, nothing special that she could tell. No big moment, no clear answers, no place where she could point and say, yep, that must have been it. That was the challenge. I got it. She wondered, just a little, if maybe she had missed something. Did I do it? She thought. Did I do what Papa was asking? Then another thought followed, a little quieter. What if I didn't? What if today just ends? The idea did not make her sad, I guess, just really curious. If I go to bed without finishing the challenge, she wondered, can I still get a letter tomorrow? She smiled faintly at the window. Papa had never said the letters were rewards. They were more invitations. And invitations did not disappear just because you took your time answering them. And maybe that was the point of the challenge today. Outside, the wind started to push harder, and snow gathered along the edges of the road. Holly sat back in her seat, wrapped in her thoughts, feeling hopeful in a quiet, steady way. Very unrushed and very unafraid. Whatever Papa had meant for today, she trusted she would find it. Or maybe, she thought, it would find her. Levi broke the quiet by clearing his throat very loudly. "Snack?" he asked, hopeful. Mama glanced in the rearview mirror. "We just had a snack, buddy." Levi considered this information. Then he nodded solemnly, as if accepting a great truth. "Cheese snack, please. Cheese snack," he suggested. Holly smiled despite herself. It was really cute when a toddler said cheese and please, and how those two rhymed. Levi pressed his face to the window and made a long, dramatic fog patch with his breath. Then he dragged one mittened finger through it, leaving behind a very wobbly circle. "Snow," he announced proudly. Holly laughed. "Are you a snow monster, Levi?" And Levi nodded once, very seriously. "Rawr." Mama glanced in the mirror and smiled. "Is it a friendly snow monster?" And Levi paused, thought hard, and then growled again. "Rawr." And Holly giggled. "Mama, I do not think that is a friendly one." Levi leaned back, kicked his boots once more for good measure, and began to sing, though the only sounds that were coming out were enthusiastic growls. Holly listened for a moment and then laughed again. "Oh," she said, recognizing it now. "Jingle bells." And she joined in softly, singing the real words, though, while Levi kept up his growly version, perfectly convinced that he was doing it right. Mama shook her head, smiling as the car filled with laughter from all ends and very questionable music. She was still smiling when the sound changed. Not loud and not sudden, just wrong. The rhythm of the road shifted beneath them. Slow and uneven, like the car had started walking instead of rolling. Mama's smile faded as her hands tightened on the steering wheel. And Holly felt it too, the small jolt of something unexpected settling into the space between them. Mama eased the car towards the shoulder and turned on a hazard lights. The clicking sound filled the car, steady and bright against the gray afternoon. "Well," Mama said calmly, though her voice had changed just a little. "That does not sound right," she said, and then the car came to a stop. Snow swirled past the windows as the engine went quiet, leaving only the soft ticking of cooling metal, distant rush of wind, and the clicking from the hazard lights. Levi kicked his boots once more, completely unfazed, almost on beat. "Rawr!" Holly looked out at the stormy sky and then back at Mama, and she thought of Papa's letter. If life grows slow or plans delay... Mama had just paused instead of rushing, choosing calm over frustration. Maybe this, right here, was a moment meant for waiting and not fixing. Mama stayed in her seat for a moment longer, hands resting on the wheel, eyes forward. The hazard lights kept time beside them. Click, 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 steady and patient. "I am going to go check the tires really quick, and I'll be right back." Both the kids nodded in agreement, mostly watching her every moment. When she got back in the car, she brushed the snow off her hands, and then she reached for her phone. "All right," she said quietly, more to herself than anyone else. "Let us see what our next step is." She spoke softly when the call connected, listening more than talking. Holly could not hear the other voice, only Mama's calm replies. "Yes, we are, right before the bridge over Cohen Drive. Yes, we're safe." "All right, I understand. Thank you." When she ended the call, Mama set the phone down and exhaled. Not a sign of defeat, but the kind that comes with accepting what is. She looked at Holly and Levi in the backseat. "All right, help is going to come. It's just going to take a while." Levi immediately objected. He twisted in his seat and kicked the back of Mama's chair with renewed determination. "It's snack now. It's snack." "I know," Mama said gently, reaching back to rest her hand on his knee. "Waiting is not your favorite thing." Holly watched Mama closely. The words of Papa kept going through her head. Mama did not rush to fill the quiet. She didn't even pretend the delay did not matter. Mama looked at Holly like she could read her mind, and then started to speak. "I am feeling a little stretched. Mama said honestly. Not angry, just tired. So I'm going to breathe and remember that this is not the end of our day. It is just a pause in it. We are safe and everything's going to be okay. She closed her eyes for a brief moment and then opened them again. Her shoulders lowered and the calm returned. Not forced, not perfect, but chosen. Holly noticed that. She did not feel a big rush of emotion through her. It was smaller than that. It was quieter. Something settled. She thought of Papa's letter. Not as a puzzle to solve or a challenge, but as a reminder already unfolding in front of her. Mama was doing exactly what Papa had taught Holly in the letter. Waiting without pushing. Trusting without knowing what came next. The snow thickened outside the windows, blurring the road into soft lines and shapes. Inside the car, the world narrowed into small little things. The ticking lights, Levi's humming, Mama's steady breathing. Holly leaned back against the seat. Earlier, she had wondered if she would miss the challenge today, and if forgetting about it would mean she had failed. Now she wondered something else. Maybe the challenge was not something to find. Maybe it was something to stay present for. And so she waited. And the waiting stretched. Levi had reached the point where stillness felt like an offense. He kicked his boots, dropped his toy, demanded it back, then dropped it again just to see what would happen. He hummed, then whined, then hummed again, then roared, and then went louder. Mama checked her phone once more. No update. All right, she said kind of quietly. Not sharp, but tired. Okay. She set the phone down and rested her hands in her lap. Holly could tell Mama was working through something, not hiding it and not letting it spill over either. I cannot make them come faster, Mama said, mostly to herself. But I can choose how I wait. She took another slow breath and let it out carefully, as if setting something heavy down while also setting an example. And Holly continued to watch. And then there were headlights outside. They slowed, passed, and then stopped behind them. A turn signal blinked, tires crunched against the snow as a car pulled into the shoulder, and Mama straightened up. A man stepped out, pulling his coat tight against the wind. He glanced at the tire and then toward the car and raised a hand in a small, familiar wave. Mr. Archer? Holly said, looking through the window. Mama rolled down the window. Eric? He smiled. I thought it might be you. Oh, don't worry, we are safe, Mama said quickly. Just waiting. Mr. Archer nodded once and crouched to look at the tire. Snow soaked into his knees almost immediately. I can change it, he said simply, standing again, if you would like. Mama hesitated. Not long, but long enough for Holly to notice. Would Mama take the help? Oh, that would be a big help. Thank you, Mama said, and Mr. Archer was already moving toward his trunk. He shrugged out of his jacket and laid it carefully on the guardrail before kneeling again. This time, he lowered himself farther, sliding one shoulder onto the wet snow so he could see beneath the car. Holly's eyes widened. Your pants! She blurted out. You're getting all wet! Mr. Archer chuckled, already reaching for the jack. They will survive. Mama leaned out slightly. Are you sure your jacket? It's fine, he said, cutting her off. Calm and certain. Truly, truly fine. Snow clung to the back of his sleeves. His dress pants darkened as the cold seeped in. He did not rush. He did not complain. He worked steadily, breath fogging the air as he got more and more wet from the snow. And something stirred inside Holly. Not a full thought, not words, just the memory of the story of someone stepping into the cold so another would not have to. Of snow that warmed beneath willing feet. Papa's lesson rose gently, without needing to be named. Levi pressed his hands to the window. Snow, he whispered, as if it mattered differently now. When Mr. Archer finally sat back up, brushing snow from his coat and flexing his stiff fingers, Mama handed him a towel from the car. Oh, thank you so much, she said quietly, for stopping, for helping. And Mr. Archer smiled, wiping his hands. Well, that's what neighbors do. The new tire was secure and the road was open again. But Holly stayed still for a moment longer. Papa had taught her how to wait, and Mama had shown her how to hold steady, and now she understood something else. Sometimes love kneels down. Sometimes it gets cold. Sometimes it asks for patience. Sometimes it waits. And sometimes the bravest thing someone does is step out into the snow so others can keep moving forward in their own story. Wow, friends, can you believe that's the end of episode 18? We're so close to Christmas. I can't wait to tell you what happens next in Holly's story. But before we do that, let's do a little sing-along. I think you might know this one. Oh, Holy Night. Let's give it a try. Here we go.
Holy night, the stars are brightly shining. It is the night of our dear Savior's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error pining, till He appeared and the soul felt its worth. A thrill of hope, the weary soul rejoices, for yonder breaks a new and glorious morn. Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angels' voices. A night divine, a night when Christ was born. A night divine.
And that's today's chapter of our 25 Days of Christmas adventure. If you haven't grabbed our journey printout yet, you can still get it at green.myflowdesk.com/Holly's Heart, so your kids can track each clue and stay part of the magic. Come back tomorrow for our next piece of the story, and remember, the adventure makes the most sense when you listen in order. So go back and listen to any of the ones that you might have missed. You'll hear from me tomorrow. Bye.